Europe, of course, very much on high alert as questions are being asked about the ability of law enforcement to actually track terrorists and prevent future attacks. So what is the atmosphere like in Brussels today, and where do investigators go from here? Joining me now by phone is the former U.S. ambassador to Belgium, Howard Gutman. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us. We're now the day after these horrible, deadly attacks. How would you describe the atmosphere in Brussels today?
So it began to get back to normal, actually. People making their way to work with some disruptions on the metro system. There were some closures. But there is a general feeling of shock, feeling of depression, a feeling perhaps that the government let them down a bit. It's sort of the closest thing I've seen to it is exactly how we felt on 9/11 when I was in Washington. Once you got over the fear that something was about to blow up again, a depression set in and a sadness, and that's sort of what's hitting Belgium today. They canceled a national football game yesterday in the Brussels Stadium because of security concerns, and it's just sort of on everyone's mind. The security presence has been very high for months, but it's even higher. There are army trucks on my corner. When we're in Belgium 1 week a month, we live on the block next to the parliament, and there are army trucks there, and Uzis prominently featured lots of places.
Ambassador, you mentioned that there is perhaps a feeling among some citizens that the government let them down. There is growing criticism, if you like, of the anti-terrorism efforts on behalf of Belgium, especially in Brussels, that they're simply overwhelmed. And there are those within those units that have admitted we don't have the resources. It's very difficult for us to track these people. Are they overwhelmed? Are they capable of preventing future attacks?
Well, let's remember, first of all of Europe and America are overwhelmed because of the returnees from the Middle East. So there are probably 500 returnees in Belgium who went to Syria and came back. It takes 10 people to monitor one, so you'd need 5,000 people working to monitor them all. The reason this occurred in Brussels is not because of the lack of security in Brussels. That's like saying Washington and New York were less secure than Philadelphia when we got hit on 9/11. That's not what happened. The reason it happens in Brussels is when you want to hit the EU and you want to hit the capital of Europe, just like the capital of America is in Washington, you will hit Brussels. And so this could have just as easily happened in France or Germany or the Netherlands. They're each an hour from the site of where the attacks occurred. It's an hour drive to do it in Germany, France, or the Netherlands, but you want to do it in the heart of Europe. But yes, there's no way to track all the returnees. And we know particularly in this case there was a failure of intelligence by two groups. One by Belgium, because this cell has been operative since before Paris. They've known about it since Paris and they couldn't take it down. The other is global intelligence. The guy they're looking for now, he spent 2013 in Syria. He came back. Shame on all of us if we have a returnee coming back from Syria who's into bomb making and nobody can figure that out.
Yeah, it's very disturbing indeed. Ambassador Gutman, thank you so much for joining us and taking time to speak with us today. We really appreciate it.